As smartphones are getting faster and more powerful, users are recognizing that they can do more with their phones. However, the situation is also creating range anxiety or the uncomfortable feeling that you need to be near a power socket and being tethered to the wall. So how does one squeeze more battery life out of their phones? I'm Chung Wen for Gotta Be Mobile, and in this video we're going to take a look at one solution from Duracell Powermat called the GoPower batteries. One way in overcoming range anxiety is to obtain a hard shell battery case, such as a Mophie case. In front of me, I have the Duracell Power Snap kit, which is similar to a Mophie case. However, the main difference is that this kit is wirelessly rechargeable using a wireless charging mat, such as the Powermat here that I have in front of me. So essentially, I can charge both the battery and the phone by placing it on the magnetic charging pad here, which snaps. You can hear the magnetic thunk here once the case is attached on. Another difference between the Duracell Power Snap kit is that you can pop up the battery. So when you're not using the battery, you can go ahead and remove it, which removes some of the bulk that's associated with a battery case. So here I have a slimmer iPhone that I can still wirelessly recharge by placing it on the power mat, and I can also charge the battery separately or together as one unit. So it gives me more flexibility in wirelessly recharging, and also in the form factor, given that the case can be slimmed down if I don't need the battery portion attached to it. However, another way to overcome range anxiety, especially if you don't want a bulky case that you always have to have on your phone, is through a universal battery solution. Duracell and Powermat has created a number of solutions. There are 3 different battery sizes. I have 2 of the larger ones here. This is the Duracell Powermat GoPower, the GoPower series, and I have the slimmer one is the overnight model, and then I have the long haul model. So the main difference is that the overnight has a 4400 milliamp hour battery, whereas the long haul has an 8800 milliamp hour battery. So what does that mean? To put it in perspective, the iPhone 5S, I have the iPhone 5 in front of me, but the iPhone 5S has a 1440 milliamp hour battery. So essentially, the slimmer overnight battery from Duracell, the GoPower Overnight, can recharge the iPhone 5S for about 3 times. It can recharge it in a little over 3 times actually. And then the larger GoPower long haul can recharge an iPhone 5S for 6 times. Also, to put it in perspective, although Apple didn't release the battery capacity for the iPad Air, reports on the internet position the iPad Air's battery at about 8800 milliamp hour. So essentially, the long haul can recharge the iPad Air fully 1 time, and then the overnight, the 4400 milliamp hour battery can recharge the iPad Air to about half capacity. So this is just a look on how large the batteries are, and just to put it in perspective. So here I have the Powermat compatible wireless charging case on. So it does bulk up the iPhone a little bit, but not that, by that much. And let's go ahead and compare sizes. Next to the long haul here, let's go ahead and snap the bottom on. Next to the long haul here, the iPhone with the case on is about half the thickness of the long haul. And then compared to the overnight, it's a little bit slimmer. So you can just gauge the perspective on how thick the batteries are. And especially if you bought into the Duracell Powermat ecosystem with this copper-like branding, it's similar to Duracell's regular, AA battery with the copper top. You do have the copper detailing here just to give it a more Duracell finish. So essentially, with all of the products here, you notice that there are copper styling embedded into them, even for this battery that snaps onto the hard case, and even into the GoPower batteries here. You have the similar styling. The main difference, other than capacity, between these 2 models is that the smaller battery, the GoPower Overnight, only has 1 USB port, whereas the long haul has 2 USB ports. essentially to charge the phone. Unfortunately, although these batteries can recharge themselves by placing them on the power mat itself, so you can wirelessly recharge these batteries on the power mat, but you can't wirelessly recharge your phone even if you have a power mat case just by placing it on the battery itself. You do need to plug in a USB connector, and this works with both the iPhone 5 and iPhone 5S, as well as with any Android phone, tablet, or even the iPad. All you would need to do is have the compatible micro USB to USB or lightning port to USB cable. And what you would want to do is place one end into your device and then place the full-size USB end into the full-size USB port. So this way, and then to turn on the charging, as you can see here, charging isn't enabled. You don't see the charging indicator here, but to turn on the charging, all you would have to do is push down on the copper button and it would enable charging on the device itself. So without a device plugged in, essentially if you push down on the copper button, it's going to light up the LED lights here on the side, and that would allow you to see how much juice is remaining inside the Powermat GoPower battery itself. So this GoPower, the overnight model, only has half the capacity charged. So we already saw that one way to charge or recharge the battery itself is to place it on the Powermat, but you don't have to buy into the Duracell Powermat ecosystem to purchase one of these. It's just a standard battery that can be recharged itself using a micro USB cable. So all you would have to do is plug the micro USB cable that's included inside the box into the battery itself. The one thing that I would like to note is that a wall adapter isn't included with the GoPower battery. So what you would do is use the wall adapter for your iPhone or Android phone and then plug the USB cable into the wall charger and then the other end into the micro USB end into the GoPower. An advantage, I like to use the long haul. It's the more expensive option. It's the most expensive option in the range of GoPower battery. But I like to use this option more because even if I don't have the wireless charger here, what I can do is I can plug this into the wall, the micro USB end into the GoPower, and it would give me two USB ports to charge, whereas if I connected my iPhone directly into the wall, I would occupy one wall socket, and then I would need a separate wall socket for my Android phone. But here I'm just using one wall socket inside my wall, and I could just connect two USB cables here into the GoPower. So it gives me some flexibility, and it eliminates, it frees up a wall socket for me to charge or use for other devices. So that's a nice thing if you're a gadget obsessed person who constantly need to find empty wall sockets to recharge. So in use, what I typically do is that I would use the Power Snap kit on my iPhone. I typically don't carry around, or I don't like to have the bulk on my phone, so I don't usually use the rear battery cover. So I just like to have just the phone and the case itself. And overnight what I would do is I would charge the phone, and then I would charge my external battery here. And then what it would do, and then during the day when I go out, I would just grab both of these things and I would stow the battery itself either inside the glove compartment in my car or inside my briefcase or backpack, and then I would pull it out if I would need to recharge my phone. And typically with the iPhone 5S, I would have to do this about once or twice a day depending on how heavy I use my emails and messaging and use GPS and my camera for photos and videos. So it's a nice and flexible solution that allows me to minimize the bulk on my iPhone itself, while at the same time allow me to have more power and reduce range anxiety, so I can do more when I'm on the go without having to worry about finding the nearest wall socket or USB plug to plug into the wall. In terms of pricing, the GoPower batteries are very competitively priced, and they're priced equivalently to other rival solutions on the market. Mophie does have its own power station lines, which offer similar but not the exact same capacities as the GoPower batteries, and they're priced almost equivalently given the power that the Duracell models have. So, but the advantage of going with the Duracell, especially if you have, if you've already bought into the Powermat ecosystem, is that you do have the ability to wirelessly charge your device. So just with one mat, I can charge both my phone and a GoPower battery at the same time, or my phone and the snap-on battery for the Power Snap kit at the same time, along with an external battery. So it does give you more flexibility. The ecosystem matches with the color scheme, the branding, the design, and also just the wireless charging is a nice feature. Unfortunately, you can't wirelessly charge your phone on the go through the GoPower battery, which is something that I do miss. But it's a nice ecosystem that's priced very competitively with existing solutions on the market. Be sure to visit www.gottabemobile.com for the full review of the GoPower battery solution from Duracell Powermat. Also, before I go, I just wanted to let you know that the Duracell Powermat solution doesn't work with other technologies such as the Qi technology that's being used by Google on the Nexus 4 and the Nexus 5, as well as the Nexus 7 tablet. And Qi is also used by the Nokia on the Lumia series of devices. So this is a completely separate wirelessly charging ecosystem, so it won't be compatible with those solutions. So unfortunately, you would need to have a case or an accessory that would turn your phone compatible with the Powermat solution. So with that in mind, be sure to read our full review on GottaBeMobile.com. I'm Chang Wen for Gotta Be Mobile. Thanks for watching this video review of Duracell Powermat's GoPower battery.